What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. Akeem Wood said, can I stay for this one?
Ooh,
because Jessica White is here, the multi-hyphenate, entrepreneur,
Yes.
cover girl, groundbreaking, model, wife.
Yes. Wife now.
Ooh, okay.
Wife now, okay,
Yeah.
period. But also artist, musician, producer.
The big thing that we're doing right now is we're really producing. I'm so excited about it.
You're always into something though. Like I've known you for a long time, and I think, and obviously we're going to talk about the modeling because how could we not right now? Because you were on America's Next Top Model as a guest judge
Yes,
on
I
an
was.
episode.
Yes.
But it's just so many things outside of that you've done, that I think is amazing. Just being so versatile. We were just talking about what an empath you are also.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Highly emotional, very spiritual. But I think that's what life is. You're supposed to kind of like live life and experience all the details of yourself and get to explore yourself like that.
It's hard being an empath in this world when you watch the news.
It's hard being an empath in this business, most importantly.
Oh yeah, this business.
This business will,
not for the faint-hearted.
it will kind of, it tries to desensitize you. And there are times where I think I probably have been, but not in a bad way, because empaths need to have a sense of, you got to have a balance. You can't overly give all of yourself. You've got to learn how to operate in that ability to love and to feel for everyone, because a lot of people will take advantage of that.
And have
For me as well.
I mean, you've been in this business. You've been modeling since the age of 12.
Yes.
So you've gone and seen a lot.
Yeah, I raised myself.
And the modeling has changed so much. And it's interesting because with the America's Next Top Model docuseries coming out, a lot of people are using you as a meme.
Yeah.
For that as well. But you were a guest judge, and you were so nice. And I was wondering, because I know I've heard people say, oh, they wanted me to be me. I was like, Jessica can't really be
No,
a mean critic.
I don't think anybody's ever told me what to do in this. I mean, I've been lucky. But even I remember when I went on the show, I didn't have any idea of what I was going to do. All I knew is that these young girls were once me. And I once looked up to Tyra Banks. And I had the ability and the opportunity to become the second African-American woman to have signed with CoverGirl. Tyra was the first African-American. I was the second. And I was 16 years old when that happened.
Oh, wow.
And I remember making sure, I told God, like, I want this I want it in this order. I want CoverGirl, I want Victoria's Secret, and I want Sports Illustrated. And I promise you, I got them all back to back. My prayers, I can manifest anything.
That's awesome.
I want.
And you did Sports Illustrated, I think, was it 13?
No, no. They would die. I just turned 18.
Oh, no, I'm talking about how many.
Oh, 13, yes, 13.
Yeah,
13.
No, not that you were 13. No, you
I
did.
was like, oh,
You cleared
God,
up. She was
no.
not a preteen or a teenager.
Listen, in this day and age. No, but 13 actually years in a row.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's a major situation.
It was. I mean, to be honest with you, I remember just kind of standing up for girls in the industry. I'm going to tell you guys something that I've never said before.
Ooh.
I got a movie for X-Men, and I got Book for the World. I'm not going to even tell you the character, but it was one of the biggest characters in X-Men. And I was doing...
I wonder what...
I was doing Sports Illustrated, and they had this opportunity for me where the guy, one of the head-ups, wanted to have me hold a plate of spaghetti and like fall and not be able to like hold a plate of spaghetti. And I looked at him and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm Jessica White. I'm a supermodel. You think I've been taking care of myself since I was 12 years old and I can't walk barefoot and hold a plate of spaghetti? I was like, we as women, we want to do Sports Illustrated because it makes us bigger in the industry. It gives us we become a brand versus a product.
Yeah.
We dream about these things. It was like, this is not good. And this is giving off the wrong information to the women that are in Sports Illustrated. We worked hard to become these brands, and we can hold a plate of spaghetti, maybe,
Right.
and we can hold on a conversation, and
What was
we
it
can
for?
run
Like a spaghetti
businesses.
commercial? I don't understand what the...
It was just these little things, these little commercials and videos that they would do.
Trying to be goofy or something?
Yes, and I just didn't find it
You
funny.
were like, I'm not dainty.
And I
that
didn't.
can't- yeah.
And for me at that time in my life,
Yeah.
I was like, "There's nothing funny about this."
Mhm.
And so I actually got blackballed from the movie because I stood up to that guy.
What?
Dang.
And so then you lost the movie
I
opportunity.
lost that role.
And this is the first X-Men?
Yeah.
It was
no,
terrible, so.
no, it was the second one.
The second one?
Yep.
Whatever.
And so I'll tell you this one thing. I kind of, now when I look back and I look back at the documentary with Tyra, and I look back at my life and I go, I wouldn't take that moment back for anything in the world. Because X-Men was fleeting for me, especially with how I
it's fleeting
was
for
in
people who are
operating. And
fans of it,
I
too.
marched to the beat of my own drum.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that never happened is I always stood up for girls. And I just feel, watching that documentary, I love Tyra. Tyra's always been a huge supporter of Jessica White. She really, truly has. I cannot say that. But it's the producers. And with me being a producer now and doing my own shows, it's the producers that have a right. And the way that they handled that young girl who was sexually abused, which she was.
Baby.
Oh, I saw that.
She was
I saw the whole
sexually
documentary.
abused.
It was
so
crazy.
heartbreaking
It was cringy
to watch.
And they kept the cameras rolling and then pretended as if it was okay. And I don't appreciate, the scene where Tyra did come back and have a conversation with the girls.
I cheated, or
I
about
cheated.
cheating, yeah.
That was perpetuating the situation. She should have kind of stepped outside of that, but I do understand how producers can push you
and manipulate
that situation. So I still hold grace for her, but those producers, shame on them. They should have done better.
It's interesting that you say that, because I've, when it's horrifying. Like when I was watching it, I was like, this is awful. She's young.
Yeah.
She drank way too much.
And the fact that they had her break up with her boyfriend.
And
with the
not break up, but tell him on
with
air.
the cameras.
Imagine she's being abused. She got raped on camera. It's filmed, and
And
then
then
the boyfriend calls her a fucking whore.
Yeah.
And then we have to watch this.
And we have to watch this.
And she has to watch. I mean, and then she also went on her talk show,
I'm sorry,
and they played the scene on
Yeah.
Tyra's talk show too. That was another thing. She played it,
And then she
It was,
wouldn't
like,
look at it, but then
horrifying.
she even was like, "I told you didn't want to see it." So why would you play it if she told you that she didn't want to see it?
Producers.
and I think that's awful. I also am seeing Tyra gets a lot of flack for this. I see people saying it wasn't just her though, right?
No, it
Because
wasn't. It was. By the way, Tyra wasn't there, and
Right.
this is the reason why I hold the producers more responsible than anything. Those cameramen.
Oh, 100%. They were there
she
filming.
said they apologized.
Screw the
Afterward.
apology. You
Yeah.
don't keep.
Yeah.
You don't apologize to me after
But if
you
you
watch me
apologize,
being
you know you
raped
did something
as
wrong.
you're filming it, and you keep. They go into the
Yeah.
bathroom. You have to have permission. People don't understand how these things work when you're filming. They cannot come into the bathroom. They went into the bathroom. They're filming this girl in the shower with the man.
Yeah, that's
In
crazy.
the bed with this guy, and she's blacked out.
Yeah.
And she's so young.
And
too.
what sucks is like
She's
no
a
one knows.
child.
No one
And
knows
she's
their
this
faces.
big. She's this big.
She said she had 2 bottles
Two
of wine
bottles of red
by
wine.
herself.
Red wine. Let me tell you something. I love red wine. It'll take me out.
Right, and
You
we're
know?
grown.
Yeah, and I'm grown with a grown liver.
I have a question. So you made it in modeling before. You being a model, would you have been on America's Next Top Model? Would you have been on that
Before
show
you
as a
made it.
contestant before you made it? Do you think you would have did
Well,
the
there's
show?
no such thing because I made it.
Of course.
My first job was American Vogue, so that just
Period.
really wasn't my story.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I can tell you is, would I have okay, for instance, so CoverGirl used to do these old school model searches in the magazines for like teen magazines.
Yeah.
So I literally, you would have to take a picture of yourself and then send it in the mail, and it was old school things at that time. And
Yeah.
I signed up for it, didn't get chosen, and then 3 years later,
Here I
I'm
am.
the second African American model too. So I believed at that time contestants and shows like that were so important, and they're still important now.
Mhm.
It's just that now we're holding people more accountable. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
The industry has changed
Drastically, for the better in most parts.
for the better and sometimes for the worse,
When-
because were a lot of things I didn't experience. I actually had to work really hard to become as successful as I am and to earn the right. Now anybody can.
Yeah.
So there's some, ups and downs about every aspect of how the industry has become.
Man, listen, just watching that, and you keep saying as a producer. So does this mean you have something?
I do, and something that's very similar to what we're talking about.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
just believe it's about mentoring and actually. One thing that I always hated about my life story was that I had to learn through trial and error
Mhm.
and the hard way. and I never had a mother or anybody to mother me through the situation. So I had to basically become the brains behind my own organization and like figure out how staying power was going to be important to me and how I was going to be able to do this. And I had to do it on my own, as well as with my producers and you know, agents and stuff like that. But mostly, if the agents are not calling you, you got to figure out a way to make yourself and put yourself back out there.
Was there a time the agents weren't calling you?
I think there's a time for any model or any actress where agents, they're constantly working with multiple people. I've learned to, you know, one of my greatest pieces of advice to people would be, I had an amazing publicist who would be like, okay, we're going to invite, you know, page 6. You have to become friends with everybody. You have to let them see you as a normal person so that you can always stay on the lips of everyone. But they have to see you as a real individual, and they have to know that you have other talents and other gifts. You have to play the game the right way. And as a woman, you have to play it masculine, but you still have to play it feminine. It's very interesting concept.
Because I even think you've always given us a lot of yourself personally too. And that matters also when it comes to...
Well, I didn't give that. I had no choice but to give it because I needed to control the narrative. Because the one thing that they were always going to do was exploit my love life. And they just didn't realize I was a teenager or I was a young girl. I was in my 20s. And I'm dating. I just happen to be dating certain people.
Right.
But they didn't allow me the opportunity to get to know these people. Because it would go into the news before I even knew the person. You know?
You're like, what
I don't even know this man's middle name.
We're just trying to go get something to eat and get to know each other a little better.
Yeah.
Do you think that people had a preconceived notion of you before really knowing you just because...
I don't think people really know me now. And I'm okay with that. So I don't care about the preconceived notion. I just believe that everything that I've gone through and everything that I experienced and everything I did and said in my life was at a certain timeline. And those timelines expire, and here we are again.
Well, I want to ask you this, though, as we're talking about your career and decisions that you made. When you did Love and Hip Hop, people were surprised about that. And when you look back at that now, do you feel like that was... Because I know a lot of people will talk about doing reality TV and how you don't get to really show your whole self because it's so edited and there's only a little clip that we get to see. How do you feel about that?
I love the experience. Honest to God, I don't regret that experience because I'll tell you this one thing. I really had gone through a moment where I had some very challenging things going on and I just was done. I was like, I just want to be normal. I don't want to do any of this. But that's not my life. And I had producers, Black, powerful producers in Hollywood, like, we want you to come and tell your story. I knew there was only so much we could do, but I was at a place where I was like, I'm just going to heal in front of the world. And I'm going to acknowledge and accept and hold space for myself and allow it to be so. And whatever it was, I prayed to God. I was like, just let my story be what it's going to be. 2 weeks into filming, I got sick, got my fallopian tube removed on TV. Like, God literally was going to allow my story to be what it was. And my story on that show was a story of healing and redemption. And that's just the way that my life has always gone. I trust the process.
No, listen. I don't
really do. I think the process is so fucking cool. Life is cool, and if you just try not to control it all, you can really wake up and really heal and help yourself and bless a lot of other people. Like, look at my life right now. It's amazing. I never thought I would be in this
we're going to get it.
space.
Because when I seen that, so first of all, she is a married lady, okay? So congratulations on that.
You.
And just by coincidence, her husband is
He
somebody
did a beautiful art piece
that I
for
have a
you.
piece of art from.
Which art piece?
It's in my study, which is one of my favorite rooms in my house.
Oh my God, and that's one of my favorite art piece.
Which piece?
He doesn't even use those color palettes anymore. He's an abstract artist.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I've seen
Nathan
it probably.
Wong.
Nathan Wong,
Yeah. And so I didn't even put it together because I knew you had gotten engaged.
But I didn't really...
And I didn't realize...
I kind of got into a place where I was kind of really quiet about
Yeah, because
Nathan.
I didn't realize it was him until I was like, now, wait a minute. This is the piece of art I got. And I believe I had to like go and do my own little digging and be like, oh, okay, that's who that is.
That's my honey bunch. Yeah.
So you were quiet about that. Tell me how that all transpired now that it's solidified.
Well, how did it happen? Okay, so Nathan and I met. We met on Raya.
Okay, so
Okay,
Raya does work.
Raya works.
Because I've heard some people having a hard time on Raya.
No, but they just, I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Why are you
But
laughing?
I had no problems on Raya.
Good for you.
But
I've heard people not be able to get on.
No.
Yeah, where people can't get on. A lot of my friends that are bigger than me can't
You have
get
to
on.
get invited. But I can imagine that your Raya was explosive, though.
It was.
If people saw you on
But
Raya.
but here's the thing. I was going on Raya. So I was going through in vitro on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I was single by choice. I was going through therapy. My doctor was like, okay, if you want to do this, I bought my sperm. I had my sperm. I had my
How did you choose your sperm? Like, did you...
based off of intellect, them not having any alcohol or drug experiences was important.
Mm-hmm.
The connection between their grandmother, their mother.
When you get sperm, do they show you the guy? Or
Yeah,
no?
they show you the guy, and then you can pay extra for all, like, the full.
Oh, like their history of
the
like
history of it, and I
That's
did that. I heard his voice. He was a
Okay.
doctor. Like
Wow.
it was things that I
Girl,
was
if they
like,
had
okay.
that for dating, you just pick one of these dudes. He's a doctor.
you
Okay,
can
I'll
try.
take him, please.
So I had that, and I was like, okay, this is my sperm. This is what I'm gonna do. I have my doctor. He specialized in endometriosis. I was like, this is perfect for me.
Mhm.
My producer and my brother from Love and Hip Hop, who's one of my best friends, Kesman, he was like, you need to get back out there and start dating again. I'm like, I'm about to have children. He was like, so what? I was like, you know what? I could take a lover or two.
Okay.
So
All
I
the
got
time.
back because I had deleted the app. I got accepted and then deleted the app, and got back on. That same day, I ended up connecting and contacting with Nathan, and our first conversation that night was 7 hours long.
Oh my
wow.
gosh. You know how rare that is in this day
Is
and age.
Raya is just like like a swiping app too, right? Is it similar to like Tinder when you swipe or stuff, or is it
I
different?
don't know about Tinder. I just know that with Raya, it's very complex. You can't even take pictures of the people, like, or else you'll get like a flag and they'll like kick you
okay.
out.
Oh, 'cause it's all
for
about privacy.
celebrities.
Yeah.
Privacy, yeah. And then like we just had this like long conversation. I was like, oh, he's cute. Okay. Well, you know, he's Asian.
You guys are a beautiful couple.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
when was the first date like, and how long?
Okay, so we started we started talking, but I was traveling and working, so was he. So we kind of disconnected for like 2 months,
Mhm.
and then we got back in contact with each other. And I was like, okay, well, I got 2 weeks off before I have to start my next season of Love and Hip Hop, but I can't leave the South. He planned this 2-week trip, road tripping all across.
That's
Where
we
cute.
were.
He did everything. I was like, I'm so. I told God, I was like, I'm so used to having to do everything. He did everything. I
That's
didn't have to think
adorable.
about anything.
And he knew your style, what you would
Yes,
like.
and
Okay.
we ended up falling in love on the trip. I got off that trip pregnant with the baby,
I know, and I saw when
and
you
then
guys.
a month later pregnant and married the next. So we moved really fast. But it was. But I always thought it. I'm very hard on men in general. But
You've been through a lot, Jess.
I have, and
Yeah.
so I think like a man. But with him, I was just like,
That's
this is the
fun.
one, and I felt safe. And he
Sometimes you have to clear the slate for something good to happen.
I
too.
didn't date for 4 years, and
Yeah.
I was celibate for 4 years prior to
Ooh.
being with him.
Yeah, you
Because
have
I was
To,
ready.
yeah.
You know, either I was gonna do the children on my own, or but I didn't expect for it.
How long have you guys been married?
It hasn't been a year yet. It's only been 9 months.
Oh, congratulations,
Newlyweds.
newlyweds! That's
Mhm.
adorable.
So
That's
how long
sweet.
before he proposed
A
that you
month.
guys
Wow.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, when you know, you know.
No, I ain't mad at that.
I promise you, that's my prayer partner. He's my business partner. That's
awesome.
I am for sure safe for the first time in my life. In a
I saw some of his
partnership.
artwork too. He's phenomenal. I saw some of it. Yeah.
I was like, look, because I'd be looking like, I like this one too. I like,
Yeah.
but
You guys are gonna love his new artwork. Oh, Ange, you're gonna love it.
because I love the
can't wait.
colors that he uses and the,
You know, in the piece that you have, he doesn't even use that color palette.
but I do like the
any longer.
newer ones.
The newer
too.
ones
yeah.
you're gonna love them. Makoa inspired a lot. I have to say, I inspired a lot.
So Makoa was your son's name,
Yes.
and I saw that post as well. And I know we are praying because I want this to happen for you so badly. And so, but if you said it made you guys closer together,
Oh
the
yeah, when you
miscarriage.
go through something like that, you either separate or you come closer together. And both were on the table for both of us at the time because it was very challenging. But we locked in. We did grief counseling. We still have our therapists. Makoa would have just been born in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I find myself even dealing with postpartum depression. Like it's difficult, but we are so locked in, and that's my best friend. Nathan really has nourished me over and over again throughout this process. And, it's beautiful to see a man stand up for a woman like that.
When you say he's your business partner, what's the business that you guys?
Well, I'm not gonna say it just yet.
Okay, I just didn't.
But we got some.
I missed something.
No. But we've got something so amazing going on. Like I'm so excited to work with him. Like to have that freedom to. I've never let men in my life. They've never known anything about me. If you read it, I'm like, okay, that is what it is. But I'm doing this married life thing, and it feels good.
That's awesome.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
And I'm really happy for you, and I know that that's a blessing for him as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
I am a blessing for him, but I'm also I'm very complex.
Where do you guys
So
honeymoon?
y'all pray for him.
Did you guys have like a
I'll pray
fancy
for him.
honeymoon somewhere?
We're doing it this year. I mean, I was pregnant, so it wasn't
Oh, there's
anything
not much
that
you
I
could do.
wasn't
Yeah,
gonna.
yeah.
I'm on bed rest and stuff. But we're gonna do a really big thing to celebrate the marriage with our family this year.
okay,
So
a full celebration.
a full celebration.
You said that now you know how to move forward to do this again, this process again.
Mhm.
What is it that you'll do differently? Because I don't
I
know that
think-
it's anything you know.
Well, I think that for me, I would probably not share as quickly
Mhm.
with family or friends
Okay.
about the pregnancy. I do believe in evil eye, and I want women. I really stand on that. Let babies develop, and hold yourself, and just kind of cloak yourself, cloak the baby. This is a new soul, and not everybody is going to be happy for you, and that is something that is very hard for people to comprehend. That's your celebration.
Right.
And you and that child, you gotta almost lock in. I would never do that again. We were filming Love and Hip Hop. It was just too many eyes.
Yeah, that was a lot going
It
on
was
for
too many
you.
eyes on that boy, and he fought hard. He really did. But in the end,
Right.
Makoa, God bless. That's my baby.
Are you doing Love and Hip Hop anymore, or is that
We are
Chef-
filming. This is the season,
Okay.
so that's kind of hard for me too, because this is the season where you see the engagement, you see marriage, you see
Ooh.
but you also see me go through the process of
right?
well, not losing Makoa because I couldn't film and they wouldn't even let me. That's why I have such a beautiful experience with Love and Hip Hop more than anybody else, because these people protected me.
Mm-hmm.
That's
They
good to hear.
they really protected me. They wouldn't. When I was on bed rest, they came to Sonoma to film with us.
That's good to
I
hear.
didn't have to do scenes with anybody else. The only scene I did was with Bambi, and that's because we're really friends.
Mm-hmm.
No, I honestly I don't have bad experiences.
It's
That's
good to
why
hear that they're ethical, because back in the day, reality TV show was anything but ethical.
they're
I
the
mean,
most
listen.
loving people to me.
Even with America's Next Top Model, when they people are talking about
But
the
you know,
challenges.
but I do believe that's a time.
Yeah, that was
and
a
you
time.
you have to learn, like, as much as they're ethical with me, if I flip out, they're gonna be like,
Get the cameras rolling.
let her.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna say nothing. They're gonna be like, just keep rolling. She's
Yeah.
the scene,
Yeah.
you know. But that's the producers.
But
That's
that is
their
the
job.
job, yeah.
And that's their job
Yeah,
too.
that's what
you
makes
know?
it hard.
But when it's fun,
That's the thing when it's fun,
When
but
it's
I
fun,
also sometimes with the show it was dehumanizing in a point that it was like, okay, we get it's TV,
Yes.
but girl,
Like your mother was a victim of domestic violence,
And
then
then
you gotta,
you-
yeah,
Yeah.
and then we want
Then-
you to do that too in this picture. Like, come on, more pain. You're
I
like,
saw
no.
that photo.
Oh,
it
my
was
gosh.
mortifying.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
it was also
I'm
weird because then they
sorry.
did the whole race thing.
Oh my God, the ethnic.
And I thought that I'm like, but blackface has never been okay. Historically, it's always been bad.
Yes.
So I don't even
and as a
understand.
model, you can't even in those challenges. You can't even say, "I'm not doing this."
Yes, you can.
Can you?
Well,
Or
I
they
just
be off
told
the
you.
show?
I
Yeah.
just told you a whole story.
Yeah, you'll be
about
off the show.
me telling. But no, I don't know. How do you know? Right?
Yeah.
How do you know? I finished that.
Right.
I finished that shoot. I didn't get kicked
Even
out of.
getting your
I didn't get kicked out of Love. I mean, off of Sports Illustrated for standing up for myself. I still was in that,
Right.
and then came back.
Yeah.
Right? He just had a little nudge and got me out the movie, but he didn't stop me from being.
But you
in
know
Sports
what? You
Illustrated.
also were already Jessica White.
But
And these women are still trying to get to be.
I think the only way that you become who you're supposed to be is by standing up for yourself.
That's
and
good.
I hands down have always done that. That's why I can't say that I've been in the room with some of these power ups and these men who I know are very, flirty or, fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that experience because Jessica White walked in the room and you were going to know
Yeah.
what it was. Since I was a child, I don't know. I believe that young girls should be respectful of themselves, stand up when you need to, but find a way to say it. Maybe you won't say it the way Jessica White said it, because I now wouldn't say it the way Jessica White would say it back in the day. I would say it in the way that you would know without...
Right. That look.
Yeah.
I see it because you,
Yeah, but that's the way we have to teach our young girls. If this is the business you want to be in, this is how you get to stand up for yourself. You have to.
Because there was that clip of that one girl. I wish they didn't say her name, but of her like literally walking out. She's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And then Ty was like, are you just gonna walk away? And she's like, yeah. And then she literally just
She
walked
couldn't go
away.
back.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, more power to you.
Yeah.
She walked away.
Or you get people like Takara, and you get people like Eva, or you get people like Yaya, and you get people. I mean, I'm telling you, these girls, they stood up for themselves.
No,
and
absolutely.
Look where they are.
Yeah.
And they became bigger than the show.
Because, I think there's also this misconception that nobody from that show made it. But that's not
That's a
true.
huge
Because I hear people
freaking
saying
lie.
that. Like, oh,
Are
no
you
one.
kidding me? Yaya was in a movie with Oprah Winfrey.
Right. No, a lot of the women
Like, come
went on to get contracts.
And look at Eva.
Yeah.
Huge show. Like,
Yeah.
we're not gonna do that.
Yeah. So
Nobody was bigger than the program wasn't bigger than the people on the show. But it's just about what you choose to do with the platform that you're given.
what do you think about a new season now? Because that's the Tyra's supposedly bringing it back.
Cycle 25. That's what she said.
I don't think that there will be one.
I don't think there would be one either.
I don't think she's gonna. Well, here's the thing. That might inspire her to
Maybe
do
she'll
it.
try to fix it.
Well, we live in a world now where there is the year of Aquarius, and people are not interested in you fixing anything when we see how you acted.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it's about exposing. So
Right.
the ones that have good souls and the ones that at least have good character are the ones that can fix something. She's kind of been tarnished, so she needs to fix that first before she can bring a cycle for people to trust her again. And that would be my advice to her. Get people to trust you again before you try to get people to trust you when you haven't rebuilt that. And she has never really even given a real apology yet.
No, she hasn't. Because she really. I think people what people were most upset about was to see Dodge's accountability to a level that was like, oh, are you Neo in the Matrix?
Which
Like,
would
she
be hard to do,
continued.
especially when you're trying to come back with a season 25, or cycle 25. But we need to get there. But we
Yeah.
need to give her the grace to be able to find the space to do so. I'm sure she's trying to figure it out, and she will.
See, I could see you doing something that's more empath, mentor based. We would love to see that.
Well, we touch and agree that that'll happen.
Yes. It's gonna happen.
After-
No, listen, I already know because I just even in watching you on when you were a guest judge, how you interacted with the women. I know that meant a lot to them because you were very
Yeah.
positive.
Yeah, and I still talk to these girls. I pride myself on. Listen, I've been in this business since I was 12, and nobody was ever gonna be in competition with me because I was my own worst or greatest fan. I always wanted to see people have a better outlet than me. I had to raise myself. So one thing that I wanted to do is if I met a girl, I remember meeting Joan Small, and she was having situations with her agency. We were getting our hair done, and she wasn't known at all at that moment. And I looked at her, and I just was like, here, take my email. I'm going to give you some advice.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's one of the biggest supermodels in the world. That's how I've always been.
Right, because you're comfortable with where you are too.
And my story and my journey, I
Yeah.
always knew it was isolated and it was going to be something different. I took my platform and I did what I could do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else, you take yours and you do it. And if you can go bigger, that's what I want for you. Be better than Jessica White.
And you also sing. You do music.
I do.
Okay, and so we saw the scene with Saucy Santana with the Vogue. Did you feel like that was a little... Because he was honest about how he felt about it. It was a little shady in the edit of it.
Well, he's shady as a person.
Yeah.
So that's just what he does.
I don't think. Yeah,
and you've been doing music for a
not
long
in a bad
time.
way.
I love Saucy.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about me is I understand this business.
You don't take it personally.
I don't take anything personal. I allow people this space to say what they want. I also know we were shooting a TV show.
Yeah.
And those things like really work out. But my thing is, I have to just honor where I am. And Saucy is very sweet and very kind and loving to me now. We have a lot of fun. So things change. People get to know you, and those things change.
Because he didn't really know you yet.
He didn't know me.
Yeah.
You know, so, and he was very much like that. This was his first season, just like it was mine. He didn't know what was happening. It wasn't, you know.
You got to protect yourself.
But also, it was comedy. It was funny. It was a funny moment. He's a funny person.
And that's
it
the
was
thing
fun.
about TV. I've had situations and blow-ups with everybody on that show. But here's the thing. It's TV. We're here to shoot a soap opera.
Yeah. It's soap
opera.
It is.
Let's shoot
Okay, so speaking of that, you had your niece Robin on there.
Yes.
And that was something that a lot of people were talking about. You know, as a woman, you were like, let me go and talk to Yandy about something that firsthand, my niece, you know, Mandisi was in her DMs. How did you feel like about how all of that played out? Because
I was highly disappointed. It was such a disappointing time because I didn't want to do that.
Right.
And when I actually did go down to speak with her, the reason why I was crying is because it took so long for me to actually get there. The producers kept asking me, can we get this scene done? And I was just like, I have seen women get so brokenhearted by, you know, finding out that their partner could have distrust and honesty. I didn't know much about what was going on in their relationship. And nor am I don't follow blogs. I'm not one of those people. As much as people say, oh, she was messy on the show, I was doing a job.
Yeah.
And also, I had to do this particular job because I was really super isolated. I never talked to people after the show. I go and shoot my stuff. And then I leave.
People
and
do
I go
forget
home.
that it's a job. People love to forget that.
You know, so, and I don't know anything about anybody's business. I just don't. But I was really hurt that I had to go and take her that information because that was a real life situation.
Right.
This was not.
You were
fake.
more upset than anyone.
I'm a Cancer. I get very upset, and I don't like when a man does that to a woman and embarrasses you on TV. And for the fact that I would have to be a part of the embarrassment of another woman when I had just dealt with certain things like that, that was not cool for me. But I had to do that also because I needed to protect this child. Right. And she's still my child, no matter if she is a grown woman. And I wasn't prepared for the story that she told.
That it was her sending the DMs.
And so that throws Robin under the bus. So it just happened. It was just.
It's hard because that's your real
stressful.
family. That's your
family,
niece.
yeah.
And you're like, she was not trying to holler at your man.
She was not.
Yeah.
And she made it seem as though. And I'm sitting there like. And they didn't film this. But there's a moment after I walked off from having that scene with Mandisi's and Yandy. I'm in the car crying and hyperventilating. And my producer's like, Jessica, you got to be quiet or else they're going to come and film this. And at this point, I just wanted to go home because I was so upset about it. But, you know, there's a lot of things you don't necessarily see. I needed to, like, have time to figure it out. And I was very new to this kind of reality. Like, I did a reality TV show with E. It was about my love life, and I could be my little hippie gypsy self and not have to argue with anybody. This is a whole nother level.
Yeah, no, it was.
Of confrontation that I'm just not, what am I supposed to do with this, you know?
How does your family feel about you being on reality, since sometimes it does intertwine with them? Do they feel like more inclined to be involved, or do they kind of want to stay away, or is it?
My family supports anything I do. Because they know, they trust me. They trust me. I can be trusted when it comes to their protection. And it wasn't bad for Robin.
Yeah,
you had her back all the way.
I had her back all the way, and she's so beautiful. How can it be so bad for her?
Yeah.
You know,
did you guys make amends, like you and Yandy? I don't know.
I haven't seen Yandy. I mean, honestly, after our last scene when all of us were communicating at the table, there's some time where you don't film. And then when I came back, I was pregnant and engaged, and I had a baby inside of me. I was not interested.
Life
in,
done
like,
life.
Life had taken a different toll. So for me, I was just like, okay, I can't.
Sometimes it's like the things that really matter are real life things.
Yeah. So I needed to just, my perspective and my priorities have been different, and my priorities now are different. Even without McCoy, I hated seeing the previews because honestly, I filmed in California this season while everybody was in Atlanta. So I'm seeing the previews like everybody else.
Right.
I didn't know what the hell was
Because
going
you
on
never know
in
how they're going
Atlanta.
to cut it. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Or what's going to make it.
Oh, because you weren't there.
I wasn't there. I was
Yeah.
in California on bed rest. And to see the cast, and it's a great scene. I watched the first episode. I was like, "Ooh, they came with it this season." But I hated seeing Andy cry, and
Right.
that's not anything that you want to be proud of. I hate that.
Well, I'm happy to see where you are in your life right now.
I'm so
You know,
happy too.
because watching that last season, every time you walk, they'd be like, "Oh, that's Nick Cannon, da 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 da," and his name came up so much.
Well, they
but now,
kept saying his name, and I was over it.
yeah,
but
that's
it's
what I'm saying.
nothing
They
you
kept
can
saying,
do.
they kept saying it. You know, and so now we're past that. That chapter is
Yes.
closed.
Done.
You're happy in love. That's what I said. Sometimes you got to clear the slate.
Yes,
And
you
just-
do. But I had been clearing the slate.
Yeah.
I had been on the show since 2022, and I wasn't dating at all.
Right.
It's just everybody else kept bringing up the past. But, there is no failures, right?
Nope.
Everything
Is a learning.
Everything is a learning process, and timelines just go away, and now you start a new timeline.
Yep.
So you don't lose anything. It's just the timeline had to come to an end.
Well, I cannot wait for the announcement of what's next because I
Yeah.
feel like you have a lot of things.
I
that
do. I'm so excited.
We're about, and I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
And
this
happy
is
for
really
you.
the best time of my life.
Okay.
Oh, that's
I
so
love
good
it.
to hear.
All right, well,
Yes.
Jessica White, thank you so much for
Yes, I
coming
love
through
you.
on
Thank
Way Up.
you.
I love you too. We got to get you back on lip service
Oh
too.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Next time.
Spicy.
Ooh,
Yes.
'cause
yes.
she-
I got a lot of information about
Jess
the
is spicy, and I already know just by the way that she is so spiritual and aligned.
Well,
and
they say the spiritual women are always the biggest freaks.
absolutely, and I think they meant it. And and just seeing how after a month, you know what I'm saying, engaged and life is life in, I already know it had to be
yeah.
amazing. So we'll talk about that next.
You're so silly.
It's Way Up.